Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram on the Cricket Happening Show, welcoming you today. And I know it has been pretty irregular, but well, I'm here today to talk on two matches. One is the final day of this the second Test match of the Trans-Tasman Trophy. It's also brought an end to the Australia-New Zealand Trans-Tasman series, but Australia retained the Trans-Tasman Trophy 1-0 with the match at the Wacker ground in Perth, which is the final Test match being drawn between Australia and New Zealand. And as far as yesterday's match went, well, New Zealand, as you know, 65 runs in arrears. Australia 65 runs in arrears. They tried to put a target towards the New Zealanders of 316 runs in 48 odd overs, but again rain was something which really played a bit of truant there. As far as yesterday's play was concerned on the final day, Adam Woodis. I'm just trying to adjust my webcam here, dear fans and subscribers. So Adam Woodis contributed. The partnership went on between Adam Woodis and Stephen Smith, with Adam Woodis contributing 119 with 16 fours, and Stephen Smith contributing 138 with 18 boundaries. That was the cornerstone of the Australian 385 for 7 declared. Stephen Smith was looking pretty good. Mitchell Marsh was out to a beautiful delivery from Bracewell, a nice deep in swinger which actually trapped him LBW for 1. Other than that, we saw Peter Neville contribute 35 with 5 boundaries, but Mitchell Johnson, as you know, this match at the Wacker in Perth, which is the final Test match, definitely had a great significance, with Mitchell Johnson announcing his retirement from international cricket, and what a cricketer he has been for Australia throughout the years. So Mitchell Johnson really started in blazing fashion, cracking 5 boundaries in a knock of 29 of 45 deliveries, and then finally we saw that was the last innings of Mitchell Johnson as a batsman in international cricket. He made 29. Mitchell Starc was not out on 28, racking 28 unbeaten runs in 16 days, 3 4 and 1 6, probably under instructions from Stephen Smith, the Australian captain, as Stephen Smith was about to declare the innings closed. So Mitchell Starc contributed unbeaten 28 of 16 deliveries, 3 4s and 1 6. Hazel was not out on 2, and 385 for 7 was the tally for Australia in the second innings, thus setting New Zealanders and a target of 316 runs to actually win the match. The bowling figures, Tim Southee was amongst the wickets after quite a long time in the series. It was refreshing to see 25 overs, 4 maidens, 97 runs and 4 wickets. Trent Boult got 2 for 77, Bracewell 1. There was no wicket for the spinners. Now New Zealand in their second leg, chasing 316, well, they had 38 overs to do so, and they were in early trouble. In fact, Tom Latham played some very good strokes, confident 2 boundaries in his knock of 15, but Mitchell Johnson was unleashed, and Mitchell Johnson, as you know, playing his last match in international cricket, really let it rip. In fact, Tom Latham was consumed by a short delivery from Johnson, which pitched in, forced Latham to actually have a hook at it, and Hazelwood actually picked up the catch at the fine leg region. So he was gone for 15, and then Martin Gottel, getting a real rich snorter, one could say, was on the body. Gottel fended at it, and Burns at forward start held the catch, and Johnson finished off with 2 wickets for 20 runs, 6 overs, 2 minutes, 220, bowled with lots of fire, and finally it was left to Kane Williamson with an unbeaten 32. As I said, rain also interrupted play. That definitely said that this match was heading for a draw. Kane Williamson was not out on 32 with 3 4s. Taylor was not out on 36 of 35 deliveries with 5 4s, and 104 for 2 was the score when the match was called off. and the match was drawn at the Trans-Tasman series. Australia won the series 1-0. As far as the bowling was concerned, Mitchell Starc 6 overs run for 53. There's nothing to really talk about barring Mitchell Johnson, because Ross Taylor was named man of the match for his splendid 290 runs, a record 290 runs one could say. And one thing that I would like to say is Mitchell Johnson. Now Mitchell Johnson, we know what a cricketer he has been for Australia throughout the years, has contributed in such a splendid manner, has contributed immensely to Australian cricket. He was the pace spearhead. As far as bowling is concerned, we know he has been tutored under former Australian ace speedster Dennis Lillee, and who would not remember Court Marshbowl Lillee. So Lillee as the one has been tutored him. Johnson definitely went through a lot of bad patches in his bowling, because of the injury, but he has really concentrated. He has come back hard, worked hard, come back to Australian cricket and contributed in a very meaningful way. And we also know that century that he hit against India, what a century, a blazing century. He's an all-rounder. He has contributed a lot, probably not lived up to the reputation as a great all-rounder as the likes of Imran Khan, Kapil Dev, the other Richard Hadley of New Zealand, or any of those, but definitely contributed in a great manner, and one would really miss the services. So Mitchell Johnson has brought down the curtain on his international cricket career, and what a glittering international cricket career it has been. His batting has been very good. I am also going to look at the career stats as far as Mitchell Johnson is concerned, just to see what was his career stats. So if at all I could lay my hands on Mitchell Johnson's career stats, that would be great. So Mitchell Johnson really saying goodbye to international cricket. He has really done yeoman service, according to me, to Australian cricket, and I'm just trying to, as I said, I'm just trying to see whether I can lay my hands on Mitchell Johnson's stats, so that I could share with you, dear fans, friends and subscribers, but I'm really trying that, tries to see what Mitchell Johnson has achieved. Well, there is something that comes to mind when we talk about Mitchell Johnson. He had some very good spells in bowling, especially in the Ashes. He really tormented the Englishmen, also tormented the Africans. Some very good bowling spells from Mitchell Johnson. But as I said, I'm trying to lay my hands on Mitchell Johnson's stats just to see what exactly he has done for Australian cricket, and also for his international career as a whole. He has been, as I said, a tremendous contributor to international cricket. So I will do that later, dear fans and subscribers. But now I'm going to talk to you about another match, which was the third one-day international that happened between England and Pakistan. As you know, both were level at 1-1, and England and Pakistan played the third one-day international at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, and the outcome was that England went on to take a 2-1 lead in the 4-match series. And what an interesting one-day series it is turning out to be, as Pakistan were bowled out for 208, batting first on this pitch. And this pitch, let me tell you, for quite a long time we didn't see any assistance for the pace bowlers or the seamers or for any spin, but I thought Pakistan were victims of their own making here, as at one point when the top order was trying to making some good contributions and holding it for Pakistan, I thought the middle order and lower order, they indulged in some very bad running between the wickets, and they also threw their wickets, and there was a phase when they lost 6 wickets for 29 runs in 12 overs, and that was the precise reason Pakistan were bowled out for 208. Just talking about, and England, well, they kept a very cool head. In fact, they definitely had a bit of a bother one could say, but that didn't really matter, as the coolness of James Taylor with an unbeaten 67 of 69, dealt with 6 fours and 2 sixes. George Michael contributing a very well-made 49, of 50 balls with 2 fours and 1 6, took them over the line, and England won the match by 6 wickets. Thus, England taking a 1-0 lead, sorry, a 2-1 lead in the 4-match one-day international series. Now, looking at the England-Pakistan card there, they had Zafar Gohar, who was playing today, and he was actually he's a spinner, and he was making his debut, and I thought he did a good debut there. But Pakistan, as Azhar Ali and Babar Azam opened, and there was a bit of purpose in the Pakistan batting, as David Willey and Reece Topley could not make any inroads initially, and then the first spell bowler Chris Woakes, who last match took 4 wickets, came in and picked up the wicket of Babar Azam for 22 of 30 balls with 2 fours. Azhar Ali contributed 36 of 54 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. He was a victim of run out as Taylor and Butler combined to run him out. Mohammad Hafiz contributed a very good 45 where he went after the spinners by hitting them for 6s, Adil Rashid and Moeen Ali. But then Willey took his wicket. He was gone for 45, 71 balls with 2 fours and 2 6s. Sarfraz Ahmed contributed a runnable stuff of 26 of as many balls with 3 fours before being gone. And Shoaib Malik and Mohammad Rizwan, and that was the time when Sarfraz Ahmed was out. The score was 135 for 4. Mohammad, and that was the time the collapse really started with Shoaib Malik and the crease along with Mohammad Rizwan. And now this was a very crucial point in the game. For Pakistan, it was necessary Shoaib Malik and Mohammad Rizwan could take it further. Hope would have been there, but all those hopes were crushed as some very silly running between the wickets started with Shoaib Malik playing on a quiet 16 trying to help Pakistan recover. That was not to be. In fact, Chris Jordan with a pinpoint throw onto those stumps ran out Shoaib Malik for 16. And as I said, there was a phase where 29 runs in 12 overs and 6 wickets were lost. That was the story. Mohammad Rizwan was run out for 1. Roy and Butler combining there, and then the tail order, the lower order couldn't drag. Iftikhar Ahmed was out for 3 to bowling of Woakes. Anwar Ali was out to Topley for 7. Wahab Riaz was the one who went and thrashed 33 in the end stages to give a respectability to the Pakistani total when he contributed 33 of 35 deliveries with 3 thrashing 6s. Zafar Gohar in his debut contributed 15 of 15 balls with tonked 1-6-2, and Mohammad Irfan was cleaned up by Woakes as Woakes finished with 4 wickets. So Pakistan were all on for 208. Chris Woakes once again taking a 4-wicket bag, bowling 9.5 overs, no maiden, 40 runs and 4 wickets. 1 wicket apiece to David Willey, 10 overs 1 for 45. Reece Topley 10 overs 1 for 41. 10 overs none for 50, 1 for Adil Rashid. Moeen Ali bowling very economically, 1 for 30. So that was the story as far as the Pakistan innings was concerned. Now looking at the England innings, well, England innings started off not in a very nice fashion as Mohammad Irfan sent Jason Roy, the aggressive batsman, quite early in the piece as he had him caught by Shoaib Malik for 7 of 6 deliveries with 1 4, which made it 12 for 1. And always, as I said, the pitch had nothing. It was just a matter of just staying there and getting the runs. England, but I thought, but we also saw there was a bit of a scare for England because suddenly we saw the pitch actually changing colors and there was some turn available for the spinners. But I thought England really kept a cool head. Alex Hales was the maiden one-day international victim for Zafar Gohar, the spinner. Zafar Gohar picking up the wicket of Alex Hales when he had him caught by Mohammad Rizwan for 30 or 49. There were 2 fours and 1 6. But Zafar Gohar would have been very happy with that wicket of Joe Root, who was caught by Iftikhar Ahmed for 11. So 2 wickets for Zafar Gohar on his maiden one-day international debut. He contributed 11, and Ian Morgan actually tried to play on the back foot to a ball from Shoaib Malik and lost his stumps to Shoaib Malik for 35 or 58 balls with 4 fours. And then that was the time looked like Pakistan could really squeak into this particular match when they had England not on the ropes, but definitely in some bit of bother at 93 for 4. But James Taylor showed what a very good skillful batsman he is, and he also showed, as I said, that was the time, till such time one did not see any changes in the pitch where the ball was turning, the ball was pitched, there was nothing absolutely on the pitch. And suddenly we saw during the latter stages of the game that the pitch started affording a little turn to the spinners like Iftikhar Ahmed, Shoaib Malik, and that was the time England had to really be watchful, and that was done by James Taylor, who really played in an aggressive vein, and what he did is he didn't allow, once he saw the ball was turning, he decided that he is going to get down the wicket and deal with the spinners, and in the way he dealt with the spinners was a really good to watch, as he showed some good skills as far as spin was concerned, when he used his feet well to the spinners to pull them off target, and then there was nothing that Pakistan could do, as James Taylor started looking more confident and carefree in his methods, and George Butler, he started giving some good company. I mean, he saw that James Taylor was playing very confidently, so George Butler tried to play himself into some form, and he also did his bit by contributing 49 or 50 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. James Taylor was not out on 67 or 69, that was 6 fours and 2 sixes, and this partnership actually really did it for England with 127 runs, unbeaten partnership for the 5th wicket, which paved the way for an England win by 6 wickets. So 210 for 4, England winning the 3rd one-day international against Pakistan here by 6 wickets. As far as the bowling was concerned, also England leading the 4-match series 2-1. The man of the match went to James Taylor of England. As far as the bowling was concerned, Mohammad Irfan 7 overs 1 for 29 took the initial wicket. Anwar Ali 3 overs and him. Zafar Gowar was impressive in his maiden one-day national debut. Picked up 2 maiden wickets there. 10 overs no maiden, 2 for 54. Wahab Riaz, as usual, bowling his stuff very well. 6 overs none for 23. Iftikhar Ahmed 4 overs none for 18. Shoaib Malik was costly, 9 overs 1 for 56. James Taylor dealt with him in a very strong way. Azhar Ali 2 overs none for 8. So that is as far as the match story was concerned between the 3rd one-day international. Now, as I said, Pakistan still have a chance. This is the final one-day international. It's coming up here in Dubai, and Pakistan still have a chance. So still, this is wide open. Because Pakistan can go on and level the series and win the 4th one-day international, but England would be pretty happy with their confidence growing with each match. So good job by England there. Now the other thing that I would like to say, I'm looking out for Johnson's stats, but before that I would say we are all looking forward to the 3rd one-day international, which is coming up, which is going to be making history as far as international Test cricket is concerned. As you know, this is going to be the first day-night cricket test match which is coming up on November 27 at the Adelaide Oval, and I can't really wait to watch it. It is going to be the pink kookaburra ball which is going to be used. It is going to be day-night cricket for the first time as far as test match cricket is concerned, and Australia and New Zealand will be facing off against each other at Adelaide Oval, and there's going to be an opportunity for some players because Usman Khwaja is injured, and that will be giving an opportunity to Sean Marsh to be playing in the day-night test match, and Stephen Smith will be slotted at number 1, the Australian captain, and I thought that is the right way to go. And also it is going to be James Pattinson who will be taking, as Mitchell Johnson has retired from international cricket. James Pattinson will be making a comeback to the Australian Test team after quite a number of years because of his injury, and that would be interesting to see. Now, dear fans in the Starbers, I'm really looking out for the stats as far as Mitchell Johnson is concerned. Yes, let me see. I've laid my hands on Mitchell Johnson's stats, I reckon, and I'm going to see what. As in, Mitchell Johnson, as you know, has also been the international cricketer of the year. He had 100 strike rate has been pretty good, and his stats would really tell us the story. Now, looking at the stats that Mitchell Johnson has, Mitchell Johnson's Test career. He played, in all he has played 73 Test matches. He took 313 wickets, and his strike rate has been pretty good. And 5 wickets in innings. He took it 12 times, but and he has not taken any 10-wicket bag, I reckon. And he has taken a lot of wickets against Australia and South Africa in particular, and also against South Africa and England. And he has, as I said, he has been the International Cricketer of the Year too. And also looking at his ODI record here, as far as Mitchell Johnson's, as I said, I'm not really able to lay a hands on that, unfortunately. So I had to leave out that. But one thing that dear fans and subscribers, we are all waiting for is the pink kookaburra ball, which is going to be used in first time in Australia, first time in international cricket. Test cricket is going to see day-night Test cricket, and you're going to see it with a coloured ball. And one goes back to the days of Kerry Packer when he introduced pajama cricket, which became a great success. It brought the one-day international to the day-night Test cricket, and now we are going to see coloured balls in Test cricket with day-night Test cricket being played, and that is going to be quite a great scene in Adelaide Oval on November the 27th, and one can't wait to watch it. Well, dear fans and subscribers, it was a great pleasure talking to you on this Cricket Happening show, and that's it for me for now. This is your host Ram signing off for the day. Thank you.